Tower of Trials is back with some additional floors. We have 19 through 21. So starting off against the Fez King floor, the gimmick here is that we need to waste essentially 2 turns while we have a full ult gauge. And obviously the best way to get full ult gauge is by running a suicide comp. And then our other 2 units just need to have a powerful AoE ult. So King is going to be the best here because we do have debuffs. It looks like we have about 4 from Festival King. And then he's going to cleanse those off and deal additional damage. So the turn that we get our ult is actually going to be turn 1. So we just need to waste a second turn here. We will do that by using a King attack so that we do have that passive shield up. And then Loli doesn't really take any damage. It does break her shield, but she is fine. And then another poison comes down. It doesn't hit Arthur since his shield is up. But this should be plenty of damage. Now once you wait the 2 turns, I believe you get a massive stat boost. Yeah, there it is. It is a basic stat increase. Let's take a look at their stats here. He has a million HP, 110, 11 and 12,000 attacks. So this should put an end to this floor right here. 4.6 million. It doesn't even kill them. That's hilarious. But the lowly attack does 5.5 mil. So that is floor 19. We will jump to floor 20. With floor 20, we have Ellatte. And now her gimmick is that by not attacking for 2 turns, they will have a decrease in all of their stats. It's a pretty big chunk. I think it's about 60%. Now the only thing with that is when we do attack, that is going to reset. So we basically need to play this floor with a 2-turn gap in all of our attacks. So we have pretty much the best team to also brute force almost every floor in tower. King, Margaret, and Gother. They're pretty good at stalling out, especially right here. We do have a double rank up, so we can get that gold Margaret buff. That's going to increase our damage dealt and damage taken. Decrease damage taken and increase damage dealt. So gold is very essential here. That is going to help us one-shot if we can even one-shot this floor. And then we do need to push for King ult. Gother's taking a ton of damage. Holy crap. Alright. Please don't die. That's why we have Tarmiel Grace on him. So unfortunately we can't put the King shield up because that'll break the 2 turns that we need to wait. Now we could put up the Margaret buff, but I actually wasn't sure if they did some kind of buff wipe or removal, so I didn't want to waste it. But they got him down so low and then they started focusing Margaret. I have no idea what this AI is. But Gother is saved by, who knows, the AI being ridiculous. So we have King ults, we have Margaret buff, and then we can throw out the Margaret attack since it's gold, might as well. So here you can see the stat decrease. It is massive. I think they had the base like double or triple that. I guess they would have had base plus 60%. That makes more sense to say. So we have that Margaret buff, cleansing everything. Oh. This actually one-shots here. Okay. So King one-shots floor 20. Moving to floor 21. So now is the Tarmiel floor 21. This floor requires us to bring an R, SR, and SSR unit. And we will have a basic stat increase of about 70%. This stacks up to 5, I believe. So the best SSR that you could probably take again is going to be King, since he is a beast of a unit. And then the SR and R units that I chose kind of passively buff him, and they all work together. So Jerry has that attack related stat increase for blue units, and then Marmus does have an, I think it's an HP related or just an HP stat increase for blue units as well. So as long as we can survive that first turn, they're going to start eventually getting tankier and tankier. As you can see, my Marmus is only level 80 SA4, and he is holding on pretty well. I think we just need to play this floor normally. We can probably just rush King's ult and see if we can wipe with that. So it looks like one set of buffs, they were able to get through the shield. The second set of buffs, however, I think he is going to fully start tanking everything. So we'll go ahead and push for King ult, and then hopefully this will kill full wipe. on the next turn. We won't really need to stack up to 5, but I guess if your team isn't as strong, you'll find the best way to stall out to get all stacks of the buff. And then obviously if you don't have King, there's a couple other characters you could do this with. You probably pull this off with a T1 team. Probably Trader Meliodas. All of them should work pretty well. I think Bryn would work well too, since she has a good AoE ult. So it looks like his stats only went up to about 70k, so it wasn't like what we saw earlier on the previous floor. So we don't have Marmus's debuff either, so we will just throw out the King attack, King ult, and it doesn't really matter what we do for this final card. Looks like this does kill the right Hawk. And then we have his ult almost one-shotting there, but Tarm stance is up. But since it is up, he does take additional damage based off the damage that he was able to tank with the stance. So that is actually going to finish him off there. That is floors 19 through 21. If you guys like to drop a thumbie, maybe a sub if you're into that. See you in the next one.